I've never been someone who believed in religion, though that's where I come from, the granddaughter of a Southern Pentecostal minister. My grandmother was a wife and a sort of high priestess. Growing up without knowing any of this, my classmates in high school nicknamed me Preacher. I've never been someone who believed in the occult, shamanism, mind, body, spirit traveling. Growing up, happily or sadly enough, I have never even been to an ashram. I've always kept my ears and eyes, so to speak, pricked open. I never even understood until recently the significance of deities like Legba and Oshun. But I can testify to at least 3 or 4 times in my life when I got the Holy Ghost. Something electric got on me and my feet started to move in a particular way without control or inhibition. I started to dance. But other than that, I consider myself to be a realist. I've always kept my feet firmly planted, and people have criticized my lack of trust, though it always turns out in the end I was right not to. So I suppose my downfall, and I've been told in many ways, is a lack of faith. That was until I traveled to Africa, and I knelt beside the slave forts in Ghana. And contrary to reports that are now being told and written by some African American scholars and academics who say that African Americans returning to Africa and to the slave forts is all a gimmick, that the remaining remnants of the slave trade is now just a cemetery, that as African Americans, Africa holds no answers for us, that we are outsiders in every culture. Well, contrary to some of these reports, in my own atheistic beliefs that I have held for so long, they're there. Beside the slave forts at Cape Coast and Elmina Castle, in what became our Auschwitz, our Chernobyl, there, the unaccounted for, like those on 9/11. Histories disappeared, the millions of black bodies that were herded through those forts. They're there, in the ocean, in the salt, in the waves. They're there, they speak, they scream, bearing untruths. It's like in Toni Morrison's novel, Beloved, where a malevolent ghost comes back to haunt the slave who killed her, and the black grandmother says in response, anything that doesn't die good doesn't stay in the ground. It always comes back to haunt us. Like what is told to a restless child, there, when you have been in a mall, more than to the theater, more than to hear poetry, more than to temple, more than to the ashram, more than to a church, than to see a friend. There.